Well, Terry Young joins me now. He is the LNP member who has held this seat now for the past 2 elections, hoping to make it 3 out of 3. Terry, good to see you this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's a terrible indictment of things, isn't it, at the moment, and a reminder of just how tough the environment is when you've got business owners that you know around here.
Yeah.
You've got Michael and Richard. Michael's saying that his energy bills has gone up $15,000 a quarter.
Yeah.
And then you got Richard who says, you know, the cost of a coffee should be $10. I mean, it's extraordinary, isn't it, just to survive?
Yeah, 100%. And it's a story that I'm hearing everywhere, unfortunately, through the electorate. You know, I look at just across the road from my office, I've got 3 hairdressers or barber shops within 500 metres that have shut in the last 12 months because they just couldn't pay the rent. It's crazy.
Do you feel like this argument has become forgotten about, though, in the last few weeks of the campaign? Why do you think that is? The fact that small business, which is the backbone of this country, why aren't the polls more in your favour, given the conditions that these businesses are working under have been from a Labor government?
Yeah, look, it's a great question, and I think, you know, the political spin has been to take all the emphasis and the focus off the reality of the cost of living crisis, and it's been a masterful, you know, advertising plan by the Labor Party to distract people from it. But the thing is that this is a reality, and people, they're not mugs. They can see it out there, mate. They'll see through all this.
Do you expect it to get any worse?
I think it will if they're re-elected, for sure. Their policies, their monetary policies just don't work. They are all about big business and corporates, and there's a place for that, but they do not like small business, and they'll do everything they can to make it tougher for small business so they can get people working for big businesses, which of course they can unionise, which is their MO and their ideology.
So what are you hearing? So you're out pre-polling at the moment, you're door knocking, you're doing it all. You've been the member here for you know, as I said, 2 elections in a row now. Yeah. What's the biggest complaint?
Look, cost of living by far and away is number one, but also we have a real problem with housing affordability, and therefore we have a big homeless situation here.
Right.
You know, a lot of people sleeping in parks, sleeping in cars, and these aren't people that the dishevelled, you know, man that's all got dreadlocks and so forth. These are families and working families that are living in their cars. It's tragic.
I spoke at the start about the interesting demographics here in Longman, where you've got the retirees and then across the bridge, you know, your blue-collar, working-class young families, and as you mentioned, there's some poorer folks, farmers too. It's just this big spread. Has that changed much since you've been the member?
Yeah, look, it has. It's changed. Look, I grew up here, and the interesting thing is that most of it was dairy farms when I was a kid. And I've seen it slowly but surely, these farms have been cut up into suburbia, and we've got to have growth, and I understand that, but that's changed the demographic as well very
Right.
much. And as you say, aspirational young people buying their first home, a lot of new estates here.
Is there an urban drift, you're from Brisbane? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also a little bit of interstate, but mainly because it's still more affordable out here. So younger people getting into the first home, we've got a lot of those out here. But we've still got the cockies out in the west, at Woodford and Wamiran. We still produce 60% of Australia's strawberries in this electorate. Yeah. So we've still got a big farming community.
Just a final point here, and look, I've had a bee in my bonnet over this particular policy for a while now, and it's taxing unrealised gains. I mean, most people won't have $3 million in their super. I won't. Most people won't. But the idea of taxing a gain that hasn't happened yet doesn't sit well with me, and I feel like a lot of folks don't realise that. And this is a policy push from the Labor government, and if the Greens get in, you know, that could well go through. For a place like Longman, Bribie Island, you've got a lot of retirees. Whether they've got that much buried in their super, I don't know. Maybe unlikely, but do they bring that up at all?
Yeah, look, they do, and the thing about it is that's where it is now, and once they get it in, who's to say they don't lower it to 2 million and 1 million? And let's think about it, in 20 or 30 years' time, probably half the people will have over $3 million in their super.
From indexation,
Of course, yeah, that's the way it works. So I think it's a terrible thing, and you can't be paying tax on money that you haven't earned. I don't think that's Australian.
Well, it just goes against the general principles of investing. That's why I don't like it. I mean, regardless of whether you've got that much or not, it's the principle of the matter. But
yeah, 100%.
Anyway, Terry, good to see you. Thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend. You feeling okay?
Yeah, no, look, the people here are good, honest people. They understand, I understand the electorate, and they're very relatable to me, and they've been good to me the last 2 terms, and I'm looking forward to doing a third term and getting some stuff done.
You got a target on your back this time, though, from two election wins in a row.
Every time, mate.
Yeah, that's all right. Just deal with it.
I've got broad shoulders.
Appreciate it, Terry. Thank you so much.